jump on quickly and just give you some inspiration, some wisdom in regards to relationships and how we can shift timelines and how we can shift our relationships from within, okay? Because it's never something to do with the outside or the other person, because the other person can only ever play the role that you assign them, okay? So you may not be consciously think, well, I'm not assigning them that role. No, but you're not consciously doing it, but you, somewhere in your awareness, you are focused on something that is not your ideal. You're focusing on something that is contradicting your end, your desired result. So how many of you have actually tried to move things along in the direction in the 3D and found that it's just creating more resistance? Okay, it's not actually working, because what you're trying to do is change matter with matter instead of changing within and creating what is in within so that it's reflected back to you, okay? Because it's never you versus them. It's always you versus you. Okay, so if things aren't playing out the way that you'd like them to, it's always a you problem. Now, when I say problem, I don't mean it's a problem like in a bad sense. It just means that whatever story you're telling yourself about either yourself or them can only ever be reflected back to you. So if you're not living in the ideal, in your imagination, in your consciousness, in your awareness is not focused on the ideal, and you are giving so much attention to the 3D, then that will continue to play out. Now, sometimes when you are living in the awareness and you are, imagining what it is that is the ideal, sometimes the circumstances will fluctuate and things will be like this. They won't always just appear as perfect, okay, as because it's not really within our control of how it unfolds, okay? We set our intentions, we create what we want within, and then we have to kind of lean back and just allow it to unfold in its own time and its own way. And sometimes that way may not be what you expect. It may not be how you would want it to unfold. But this is where you have to release attachment and observe all circumstances from a neutral place, not from judging things as good or bad, or as, oh, it's not working out, it's not, that is where you will fall from grace and you will fall from your ideal, because you are too focused on what is going on outside of you. Now, remember when I did my live a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the pen, okay? When you close your eyes, so you see the pen, you close your eyes. Now, in your mind's eye, you can see that pen exactly as you saw it, right? So when you open your eyes, so that means that there's no separation between what's in here and what's out there. The only, the only point of the observation is you in the middle that can create a different story, a different visual perception, I guess is the word. So sometimes there might be scenarios that may trigger you, and instead of staying in alignment, staying in the wish fulfilled, the desired end, because it looks similar to something in your past, You start reacting from the past instead of from the future, knowing that what you want is already done. It's already unfolding, but you've taken yourself out of the state based on whatever you're observing in reality, and you're recreating the past instead of recreating from the future. So everything outside of us is only a reflection of what is going on within. It really is, because there is no separation. Again, there is no separation between what is within and what is without. The only thing that comes in the middle is you as the character, you as the observer, you as the perceiver. Okay, you're perceiving the situation and you're giving it meaning. You're the one that's giving it meaning. And then when you give it meaning, you then attach to that story and you fall from the state of fulfillment and fall into non-fulfillment. And you start that whole, old story again, because you've fallen back into that state. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm thinking I might do a live sometime next week. So if you'd like me to do a live and answer some of your questions, just say yes in the comments. And I am looking forward to hearing your questions and answering your questions about relationships and how you can shift timelines and allow things to effortlessly unfold without you doing anything. There is nothing that you need to do, no actions you need to take physically. There's no conversations you need to have, because it's all within.